money throw. Oh.
LA will play for the Lombardi.
We're going to our 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. Way to go, baby.
And Jared Goff has thrown his 5th touchdown pass of the night. And he makes the catch in the end zone.
Greatest quarterback of all time.
You're too low. You're too low. He goes in. Too smooth. It will be New England against the Rams in Atlanta.
I see. We ain't done yet. America's worst nightmare is back.
Let's go!
Let's go get one, fellas.
A little cloudy, a little cold here in Georgia's capital city of Atlanta, the 3rd fastest growing metropolis in the United States, growing even larger this week, playing host to their 3rd ever Super Bowl. First, though, inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is adjacent to the Georgia World Congress Center, where we are all set to bring you a very special Super Bowl 53 edition of NFL Playbook, live from Radio Row. Hello, everybody. So glad to be here with you. I am Rhett Lewis. Now, Atlanta, also home to a plethora of musical talents. Ludacris.
True.
2 Chainz.
Oh.
Outkast. And on a similar artistic level with their videotape, our XO Maestros.
Don't forget
that's,
T.I.
That's the top of my iPod.
Right?
All those guys.
That's on your playlist for sure.
Yeah.
Head coach of the
My
Super Bowl
iPod. How old am
35
I?
champion Baltimore Ravens, our coach, Brian Billick. Starting center for the Super Bowl 42 champion New York Giants, down on the edge, Sean O'Hara. What's going on, fellas?
I missed you guys last week.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with myself.
What'd you do? What'd you get up to?
Well,
Wait, you know what? I know what you got up to.
Yeah.
Watch the film.
He's trying to steal the game plan from
What are you doing,
Belichick.
Coach?
You see this?
You're on the boat?
What? This is this guy may have more Super Bowl trophies than I
Wow.
do, but I got him when it comes to eating oysters and drinking bourbon.
Wow, look
he
at
just
that.
laid it all out to me on Saturday. I got all the answers right here for you.
Already got to look inside the playbook. So
Yeah.
here we go.
Looks like
Pay
Indiana
attention.
Jones and Darth
That's
Vader.
actually my friend Tiger. He looks more like Bill Belichick than Belichick.
You might be right as we get you ready for Super Bowl 53. All right, your NFC champion Los Angeles Rams requiring the best game in the biggest spot yet from their quarterback Jared Goff to get here. And he turned in the best throw of his career on a 6-yarder to Tyler Higbee, setting up Greg Zuerlein's game winner. Made all the more difficult by a very special guest that will join us here shortly. Hard to pinpoint the best throw of Tom Brady's career. Sample size is just too large, although 3 3rd and 10 throws completed on the money to get past the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Pretty big there, earning his 9th Super Bowl appearance, and like all of us, Rams head coach Sean McVay marveling at the remarkable career of Tom Brady.
It's incredible with what he's done. And you just look at the consistency at which they've been able to operate. You know, I was joking around, but you're serious. You know, when I got a chance to go in Washington, we went and played at New England, and here comes Brady coming out, and my name is Hove, and the fans are going crazy. I want to be in the corner like, man, that kid, I mean, he's something, man. So you respect him as a competitor, but it's a great opportunity for us to be at our best this week, and we're certainly looking forward to the challenge, but we know we got to be at our best to give ourselves a chance.
You know, there's no way to describe, you know, for me what my career's been, and I feel like I've just been in the moment so much, and every year just trying to get a little bit better, and to have the opportunity to play in this game, I think I just have more appreciation.
Well, Tom, here's a word to describe it, unparalleled. And coach, for Tom, it's on time, it's on target, and that usually leads to points on the scoreboard. One reason why he has more wins, completions, yards, and touchdowns, if you include the playoffs, than any player ever. How will he do his damage on Sunday?
You know, we talk about it all the time. What on a football field has Tom Brady not seen? He sees what you're doing, and he always has an answer. When you look at the film, and what they're doing isn't particularly complex. It doesn't have to be. Tom Brady's going to take the variation of 3. We're going to see some double 3-level throws here. Now we got Edelman motion over. You got Dorsett on the outside. Now he'd like to go with the Edelman-Gronk combination, but he sees the rotation of the secondary. They're getting deeper. He immediately says, no, I'm going to take this chump change. Why would I wait this out and see if the guy's going to beat him across? I'm going to take the guaranteed completion, and now I'm moving the change. It's small ball, but it's very, very effective. Now we're going to see this same thing. You got a 3-man side. I want you to watch the technique of the linebacker on Edelman. Brady sees this. Look, this guy's not going to turn and run with him. He's not aggressive enough. He's going to turn his shoulders out of it. He knows there's going to be a hole right in behind it. Easy throw, get it out of my hands quick. Now, this is the one I love. You're going to see Hogan on the backside. Now, watch on the play side down here, like a bunch look. Look at the defense of the Chargers. Everybody's on the other side of the hash. Well, you know what? I don't like that number count. So I'm just going to scan back. No, if there's that many folks over there, I know you got nothing underneath Hogan on the backside. So he effortlessly moves through these reads and immediately sees any kind of indicator on the defense. I know exactly where I'm going with the ball.
It's amazing how quick he gets through his progression. Going from 1 to 2 to 3, knowing almost pre-snap that maybe he's going to skip over one of those guys. But even once he gets through that progression, his accuracy, and we've talked about this before, Joe Montana-like. The ball is always exactly where it needs to be, even if it's a late throw like he had it to James White, last second, back shoulder on third down to keep the sticks moving. The accuracy is what makes him the best.
And he'll appreciate that comparison because Joe Montana is his hero.
Well, this will actually be the 10th time that Brady has faced a Wade Phillips coached defense. He's 6-3 in those previous 9 matchups, 21 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. Although Coach Marcus Peters really hopes to add to that interception total. He does have 22 picks in his 4 seasons. First with the Rams here, how does he fit into their plans to slow Brady?
Well, Wade Phillips has had some success, and he's got a guy in Marcus Peters who, and I'm going to use the word guess, and that's wrong, because it's calculation on his part. Sometimes he calculates right. This is 2 years ago against Phillip Rivers. Now, he's got the outside receiver, but look at his vision and what he does. He's route reading through the 2 receiver combination inside. He knows what's coming. Someone's going to break out. Look at him drop the deep route and jump underneath. There's no way Rivers can imagine. What do you mean you're dropping the deep route? He ends up with a pick and obviously impacts the game. Well, let's zoom forward to this year. You're going to look on the outside. He's got quarter coverage. He sees the receiver climbing up his toes. Nice job. He thinks he's getting help inside, but this is corner coverage. The underneath route pulls him up, and all of a sudden now he's out of position. I don't know whether he didn't know it was quarters coverage or he thought he was going to get help inside. And this is a nightmare. I want you to watch what he does. This is against Michael Thomas and the Saints. Watch. He starts signaling with the motion. Hey, guys, I need help over the top. I'm underneath coverage, right? You're over the top. Get over the top. Well, on the snap of the ball, nobody's over the top. So either he's wrong and it's not, someone's not going to be there. He tries to jump late, doesn't have quite the ups he had when he was younger. Whether the safety was supposed to be over the top or he was wrong, he's going to have to, and again, I use the word advisedly, guess a little bit if you're going to get an interception against Tom Brady.
For the Patriots, whenever they see a guy that's aggressive like that, peeking in the backfield, look for that double move. They also like the fake go screen. We used to call it the fake bubble screen, and you fake that little pump fake, and then you sneak somebody right in behind them. I think the key to all that stuff is if you're going to try to beat a guy on a double move, you've got to have great protection. The Rams' defensive front's got to get home if they're going to protect that back end.
And Peters has been much better with Aqib Talib on the field. Opponent's passer rating of just 70 when both corners are available. When it's just Peters, it goes up to 140.
And Red, they've kind of kept him on one side, really. I think with Talib there, Peters didn't have to travel as much. I think that helps
maybe
them
a
both
comfort
out.
level.
But you got to know where
your
help's coming from. Just like on the offensive line, we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
He's got to know on the back end, I don't know who was wrong, but it can't be him. Am I getting help with the top or am I not?
So the Patriots have a top 10 scoring defense. Jared Goff, just 5-6 versus top 10 scoring defenses in his career. Passer rating of about 85. What do you expect to see from him in his first Super Bowl on Sunday?
When you look at the matchup of the quarterbacks, it starts to feel like David versus Goliath. I know we felt a little bit like that in 2007. Worked out for us because we had an unflappable quarterback who was able to make some big-time throws. I see the same thing from Jared Goff. And, yes, they've got an explosive offense. He doesn't get enough credit for how well he's reading the defense and the placements, all right? The timing, the placement, and the patience. Let's start with the timing, Coach. Look, tight formation right here. Everybody's in the middle of the field, so it gives them a lot of room on the outside. Everything they do is based off play action, though. Here you see their play action with Todd Gurley. That's what starts it out. Brandon Cooks, you have to respect the speed. Look at the cushion right here by the corner. All right, this is a big play. This is a big chunk right here. Look at how easy this is. Look at the timing right here. Goff, after the play action, he comes up ready to throw, all right? How about the placement? Now you spread them out. They go trips left right here, Coach. This is going to be a zone defense, all right? You could say Sean McVay's got great plays called, but if you can't read a defense like this and make this throw, if you can't see the corner jumping on this underneath receiver and the safety in the middle of the field, you're not going to be able to make this play. And this is a great placement throw right here by Goff. Big play for him. Another big explosive gain in the passing game. All right, how about this? This is another tight formation. All right, they're going to use the jet sweep, which you see a lot. But look at this offensive play. Another play action pass. They're attacking one half of the field. Goff does a great job of reading this coverage. They're trying to take away Brandon Cooks in the middle of the field. They basically got him triple team. They've got a wheel route right here with Josh Reynolds. So the patience right here shown by Goff as he takes a hit in the pocket to wait for that route to develop and deliver the ball. I think Jared Goff showed me a lot of of moxie.
Yeah.
When you saw the fact that they were down 13-0 against the Saints, they couldn't hear anything. They're using hand signals. I thought, man, this team is going to come apart and they're going to unravel. And he didn't. He fought back. He made some big throws. I tell you, this explosive offense against this defense, it's going to be fun to watch. And it's because of Jared Goff and his ability
and
to
people
read the
are
defense.
wrong when they're talking about, well, Goff kind of disappeared in the Dallas game. No, he didn't. They were running the ball. They're in control. He knew all I have to do is don't turn the ball over. We win this game. He did what he needed to do, Brady-esque, to win the game. And then they get to Atlanta, New Orleans, get down by 13. I got to make some throws down the field. I'll step up and do that as well. This is a very mature young quarterback that recognizes I'll do what I need to do for us to win.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, game plan-wise, Goff has performed better versus man coverage this year, while the Patriots have employed a deployed man coverage more than any other team this season. So we'll see how that factors in here.
Hey, one play at a time, urgency, do what you do. Love you, man, let's go. All right, here we go, Jared. Huddle him up, buddy, huddle him up. All right, bring him down in short motion and get the Halle Berry, Birdman, Hefner Chesney, Hollywood Bunch. Hey, let's go rocking right here. Riding Rat, Lamborghini, Lollipop. All right, my bad.
That's how they run it through a wall for you.
Hey, love you.
That's
Good job.
how they run through a wall for you.
All right, that's them, man. Love you. This is why you're great. You gather yourself, you win this game next. All right, hey, let's gather ourselves together, go get it right here.
Sean McVay, maybe at an experience deficit when it comes to coaching in his first Super Bowl compared to Bill Belichick's 9, but McVay second to none when it comes to scoring offense. At just over 31 points a game since 2017, the Rams' attack is tops in the league. They were second this year in points scored, second total offense as well. As you look at the New England defense, very typical, right? They give up some yards, but they buckle down in the points per game category, a top 10 scoring defense. All right, welcoming to the set here on NFL Playbook, a very special guest here. Now, we will leave the circumstances of his availability to be here with us this week in the past. We will instead focus a more positive tune by introducing him as perhaps Super Bowl 54 participant, Pro Bowl defensive lineman for the New Orleans Saints, Cam Jordan. Welcome to Playbook.
I much appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. I think I'm just negating this whole Super Bowl. I think it's going to go Super Bowl 51, Super Bowl 52, Super Bowl 54.
That's right. That's fair enough. That works.
That's
Yeah,
what
I think the way to
for
say
you.
it is good to see you, sorry to see you.
I appreciate that. We're here and, just blessed to be able to wake up the next morning.
Indeed. And let's get to the XOs here because you know football as good as anybody here this week. And let's talk about C.J. Anderson because this is a two-headed backfield monster now, Sean. I know you've been studying it here. C.J.'s racked up 300-yard games in his 4 games with the Rams here. Thank goodness they had him last week. Again, sorry, Cam. When Todd Gurley had a career-low 5 touches. Yeah. Does the Rams' run game success hinge on a bounce back from Gurley?
Yeah, it's all about Todd Gurley. I know C.J. Anderson has done a good job kind of holding the line and holding the rope, but this offense is driven by Todd Gurley and the zone running scheme. I know you faced it, and it's all about creating movement, both at the point of attack and at the second level. All right, look how they create movement right there. This is right 35 zone rim. All right, the rim aspect is here's the fake jet sweep to get the defense going, but the tight end's going to come back to cut off the defensive end. Up front, you've got the offensive line moving the D lineman. Everybody wants to create movement so that now Todd Gurley can cut back. Look at that hole. I mean, you could drive your Mack truck right there down the middle of the field. Coach could captain his boat down the middle of the field. All right, here's another play. This is the fake jet sweep speed option. Now they're trying to get to the perimeter. Look at Robert Woods, all right, at 200 pounds, blocking Bradley Chubb, the defensive end. It's all about numbers and angles, right, Coach? How about the big fellas out in front? Andrew Whitworth, Austin Blythe, out in space. So they do a great job attacking the perimeter, but this is their bread and butter, right? 34 zone rim right here. All right, the split flow occupies the safety on the backside. Look at this seam that it creates. All right, good movement up front. Andrew Whitworth has a coupon. He gets a little 2-for-1, and the big fella's off to the races right here. This is how the Rams, this is their entire offense. And when you look at the way that everything is built, from the play action to the screen game, all of their big chumps come off of this running game. when you look at the importance of Todd Gurley, in their 3 losses, he averaged just 48 yards rushing a game. So he's absolutely a huge component to this offense and their success.
I mean, it's huge on what he's able to do. You talk about the way Todd Gurley's able to cut back, the tosses, the cracks. They've got a couple punches, crunches. Everything that they're able to do is really motivated by Todd Gurley, bar our last game. But
you guys bottled them up.
I mean, you talk about, what we're able to do. If you try to run my side, that's dead. So you've got to go, you got to go back to the other
they
side.
did that, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you got to be able to cut back and be effective where you can. You talk about, the abilities to set an edge. You got to be strong in that game.
Right. So the Rams 11-0 in 2018 when Todd Gurley gets 15-plus carries. But it's about overall touches as well, Sean, here. In the Rams' 13 wins, Gurley 130-plus yards from scrimmage, which, of course, includes the passing game. How does he impact the pass game for the Rams this week?
I mean, he's been phenomenal out of the backfield as well. They do a great job with their scheme. But, just when you think you've got him bottled up in the run game, now all of a sudden here he is out in space, and he's a handful. All right, how about against one of the better defenses in the NFL, the Vikings? Look at this great play design right here, okay? There's the jet sweep. We see it all the time. The play-action pass. Now everybody forgets about Gurley. All right, he's not getting the ball, right? Oh, no, here he is. Brandon Cooks ran a clear-out route. There is not one defender on that side of the hash. I mean, there's nobody over there. You've got elephants on parade out in front. Big Roger Saffold gets a block right here. And this screen game is so powerful and it's so explosive because they do a great job of getting him out in space. All right, now here's Todd Gurley lined up as a receiver. You go empty formation. Now, how are you going to defend Gurley out there? Well, it's a shallow cross right here. But look at this trips right formation. Look at all 3 of these receivers. All right, these are picks they're setting right here. All right, these are rubs. It's like a picket fence, and Gurley's supposed to run his man off of these guys. Look at how wide open Todd Gurley is here. So
beautiful thing.
He's like a receiver out of the backfield. When you look at what he's done in the league, it's phenomenal. Now, here he is in the backfield, all right? Goff looks and sees, it looks like I've got a linebacker man coverage with safety help over the top. On the snap, the safety moves out to the middle of the field. I know I've got a one-on-one with a linebacker. That's a mismatch. So I look for them to exploit that if they get Goff one-on-one. When you look at what he's done as a receiver, Rhett, since he came in the league in 2015, he's got the most catches and most receiving yards out of any running back in the league. So he's absolutely a threat in the air as well as on the ground.
That last clip you showed was inside the red zone, and nobody has more touches, yards, or touchdowns in the red zone than Todd Gurley. And Coach, it's not just about Gurley's production in the pass game. It's also about his influence on it. Their big play-action team for the Rams. Is that one way to protect Jared Goff this week?
You just saw the building progression of the run game, the small ball underneath to Gurley, and then I don't envy you trying to get at him at quarterback because the way they protection, everything, the way they just mash everybody down. You can see here, it's variation on themes in terms of the route, but I want you to watch what happens with the offensive line. They got a bunch of linemen here, and they're going to run the 3-level throw we talk about all the time. High, intermediate, and low. But watch the, as you say, elephants on parade here, Sean. Cam, I don't know how you get home here because they just wad you up inside. You got to respect the run. You can see Gurley coming out the backside. Now, obviously, he breaks contain, and yes, you have the deep. You have the intermediate. You have the flat. And right now, he recognizes they've cleared out on the top. He's got an easy throw to the intermediate route runner. Now, let's do the variations on the theme. I'm in that same bunch. I'm going to play action. I'm going to keep the receiver in, though, to secure that edge because I'm not going to break contain now. Offensive line gets to wad you defensive lineman up. I got a deep, I got an intermediate, and I got a shallow route, but you can see the free safety comes out of the middle of the field. Well, right now, Gurley, he's pulled up and Goff goes, I'm going to take this deep shot. It caught him off guard a little bit. He actually underthrew it because he couldn't believe the safety came out of the middle. And now you got the same thing. You already showed it, Sean. Wad up the offensive line. Take the tight end, block him to the backside. This is as good a protection scheme as you're going to get. It's just taking care of each gap. And again, we got the deep. We got the intermediate. We got Gurley coming underneath, and now they get to the number 2. So it's this constant variation on a theme, wadding up you good defensive linemen, and you can see the numbers here, that the package of the run, using the back, and then wadding everybody up to take these vertical shots, it's just a beautiful scheme.
No doubt. I mean, they definitely do everything they can to try and dress it up 31 different ways.
Right.
They feel like a Dr. Pepper. You open it up, it's just so many different flavors to do the same thing. They try and slow you down with, of course, your RPOs, your play action, your boots. But you got to focus on what's really important. You got to be able to shut down that run and really hold that your passing is going to just hold up.
Yeah, it was funny. I talked to Rams coach Aaron Cromer. I talked to C.J. Anderson this week. Unprovoked, both of them brought up, hey, we're just trying to get first downs. Extend drives, and keep Tom Brady off the field. Okay, back here live with you on NFL Playbook. A shot to the beautiful Atlanta downtown skyline, a place the Rams know very well, site of their last Super Bowl victory back in '99, and hoping that perhaps the Atlanta Glory Days bring them some good fortune this Sunday. However, the Patriots have already dispatched one high-powered offense that relies on an explosive ground game by beating the Chargers in the divisional round, completely stalling the Melvin Gordon-led rushing attack, holding LA to 19 total rush yards. And then the Patriots pass rush comes alive in the AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes had been one of the best protected quarterbacks all year, and they sack him 4 times. So, Coach, this is a Patriots defense that has held big-time receivers, Keenan Allen and Tyreek Hill, to 3 combined receptions this postseason. Does that trend continue with Brandon Cooks and the Rams, or do you see a different priority here for the Patriots?
Well, the Patriots obviously have got to get pressure on the quarterback. There's a lot of different ways they can do it. What the Patriots do, we always talk about the way the offense morphs itself.
Right.
Well, the defense does too. Whatever they need to be from one week to the next. When you look at the tape that I'm talking about, you can see that evolution of what they need to do. When they play one team versus the other, here you're going to see against the Chargers. Now, it's a 5-man protection scheme. So I got 6 people in the box. And now what am I going to do? What you can't do is open up the inside. They open up, the right guard and tackle open all the way up to the right side. They let Hightower come unblocked in the inside. And this is just, you can't let this happen. Obviously, Goff isn't going to be a guy that beats you outside the pocket. Now, okay, so we're going to bring a tight end in. Okay, we got an answer for you. We got a 6-man protection scheme. Well, I got this 6-man box. You better keep everybody in. And then what I do, I change up. I'm going to drop 2 guys out. You think you got to throw hot? I'm going to jump underneath it. Now I force you to make a late deep throw, and that's not good. All right, now I'm going to just match up across the board. I'm going to give we're going to win one, but somebody along here is going to win. They're going to take Hightower, gobble up the center. They end up winning on the right side, good push onto Mahomes. He has to get the ball out a little earlier because he sensed the pressure, and they get an incompletion. Now, this is the one I really like, okay? We've shown you a 6. We've shown you a 5. Now we're just going to show you a 4-man rush. But we're not going to just give you a 4-man rush. I'm going to spy Mahomes here, and now I'm going to run this loop down here at the bottom. Cam, how many times have you done this now, right? You can take a $2 cab ride around. They flush him, and now they almost get home. Obviously, Van Noy can't quite, and you see a typical Patrick Mahomes throw gets it done.
Hey, you get him off the spot, and you have a chance.
And that's the thing. Talk to me a little bit about when you see what they're able to do about some of the games that you're trying to set up one stunt to the next to have one stunt set up the next stunt.
No doubt. I mean, when you have offensive linemen who sets the way that they do, you can always try and get them off their rocker. I mean, when you talk about bringing in stunts, in fact, masking at first and then being able to bail that way. Now you're creating one-on-ones, and you could argue that the Patriots don't have a superstar at pass rusher or whatever it is, a studded pass rusher, but they have Trey Flowers. They have a very active line, and for them to be able to blitz the way they do, to be able to show blitz the way they do, it gets the offensive line second guessing.
Right.
And of course, when you create one-on-ones, you can win one-on-ones.
And if they're unblocked, they can be pretty good. They may not be a superstar, but
it pays off easy.
Did you guys just see Cam Jordan's eyes light up talking about getting after the quarterback? Yeah, I saw that too. I know you guys.
He's still hungry.
Yeah, he is
for sure. When you talk about passion, you got to know where the heart is.
You're in. Hey, Cam, we got a little something here for you. All right, a little bumper sticker mantra that we talk about a lot here on Playbook. I mentioned Todd Gurley's success in the red zone. What's the other half of that bumper sticker? It's blank in red zone.
Third down.
Third down in red zone. Come on.
Coach.
Hey, talk to me about the Patriots' third down defense, Sean.
Yeah, well, it plays right off of what Cam was talking about with stunts and blitzes. And look, there's nobody really on the Patriots defensive line that scares you one-on-one. Trey Flowers is really their best pass rusher. He's got some long arms, but when you look at what they do defensively on third down, it's pretty simple from a personnel standpoint. It's 3-2-6, right? 3 down linemen, all right? 2 linebackers. And really what they're going to do is they're going to make you think they're rushing 5 all the time. But what they're going to do right here, look at this nose guard, all right? He's going to slide over to the right. Why is he doing that? There's a twist coming, all right? His job is to get on the edge of the center and pick the center and the guard. This is a 3-man game. You got 2 defensive linemen getting penetration. Cam, you know all about this. This is right in your wheelhouse. You get penetration up there, you can't pass off the looping defensive end, right? That looks like you right there coming after the quarterback. You get offensive linemen on different levels. How about this? You've got 6 defenders for the Patriots. Dolphins have 7. This is max protection. This should never happen. The linebacker's got the running back in one-on-one man coverage, but he's going to occupy the left guard, so he can't help on this delayed twist. Dante Hightower, I mean, this is great film study right here. All right, this is a divisional opponent, so they know he just kind of hesitates. All right, a little sugar rush right there, rope-a-dope.
I mean, it seems like they know exactly where the line is going to protect. They seem to know where the center is going to go shift to, and when you can predict where the center is going to be, that's sort of helping your odds against a max pro situation.
Yeah, they understand the slides. Here's another 3-2-6. Now it's a twist. Now Hightower's the penetrator, Van Noy's the looper. So they're interchangeable in their positions and in their roles, but they're effective because they're so good at the scheme. Look, there's not one guy that really scares you. They're all spokes in the wheel, and they really make the wheel go round. But when you look at defensively on third down, you've got to identify who the down linemen are, find those two guys, and then as offensive linemen, we always talk about staying on the same level. That's one of the challenges and one of the reasons why you got to be effective when you're playing against defensive linemen. If they get on different levels, now it's hard to pass off.
I'll say it's sort of hard to stay on the same level when you look like you have every man rushing.
Right.
And then, of course, they disappear, and all of a sudden you're on a separate lingo, and now you can't communicate the way you want to. Those stunts are a tremendous fit in terms of creating that disruption.
Now, is that always something that is just called – some of those stunts sometimes just naturally happen, right, where you just kind of feel the defensive tackle getting upfield?
Yeah, of course. When you have a pass rusher that you've worked with for so long, you know the way he moves, you know the way he rushes. Sort of like, with me and my guy David Onyemata, or me and my guy Sheldon Richards. Sheldon – wow. Rankins.
Yeah.
I just called my guy Sheldon Richardson. That hurts. You talk about Sheldon Rankins.
He'll hit you up.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, about everything that he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
Once he penetrates, you're able to wrap around him and create an easy sack for yourself or create a sack for your D-tackle. And, of course, they're always so helpful with those.
Oh, for sure. And we hope Sheldon's feeling good.
I know.
Okay, back live here on Radio Row for a special Super Bowl 53 edition of NFL Playbook. Taking a look at the Patriots' offensive evolution. They're running this year 60% of the time on first down and utilizing, according to Pro Football Focus, play action pass almost 25% of the time, as long as Brady gets enough time. And that will be an issue this week because the Rams, coach, have star power right down the middle of their front, right? They generate the most interior pressure of any team in football. A big part of that comes from the guy we expect to be the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, Belichick, we always say he takes away what you do best. Compared to the rest of us, though, I guess we just covered the decoys, right?
Sure.
But Belichick's going to take away what you do best. Well, I know what he's saying right now. Just like when I'm playing Cam Jordan, I want two sets of hands on Cam Jordan. I want two sets of hands on Aaron Donald every play, or we're going to get sacked. Inside pressure is going to kill us. Now, watch what the 49ers do here. They're pointing to the left. Okay, I got that. Now, the tackle turns to the outside. The guard is there to help. Just what you want. You can't leave him one-on-one. The tackle thinks I've got some help. For some reason, the guard decides, no, I'm going to come back to the other side. I'm going to cover the decoy, and now he leaves himself exposed. Now the safety gets to the outside after Aaron Donald flashes on the inside. Now, same thing here. You're going to see the left guard going, well, I know I got help inside. My center's there. Good. Well, if you know the center's there, get to the outside. You can't give up that inside edge. And now you're going to see Josh Rosen takes the pounding because of it. That combination we talked about, Cam, that you've got to play in order to take on good defensive linemen like you. Now, the Patriots know how to do that. They're outnumbered to the strong side. All right, you can see Eric Berry moving all over the place. I got a six-man protection scheme against a seven-man box. I'm short to the strong side if all four come. Well, all four come, but Brady knows, you know what? I saw them drop off to the weak side. I know Andrews is going to come back and add to the number count and get it blocked. So that gives me time to get the ball off to Edelman. This is one of the most intelligent lines you can see what we're talking about here. If we run the ball and I cover those stunts and I get that help when I need to, now I'm going to get the ball to the great receivers, and even the great Cam Jordan can't get home to me. Huh? What do you think? Is that going to work?
I don't know. You talk about what they have in that middle. You talk about Michael Brockers and Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald.
Glad you brought up Brockers.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of power in that interior. Then you have, of course, Fowler, who's going to run high and sort of keep him in that pocket, just corralling that middle pressure. It's going to be interesting to see if they can hold it down.
And Cam, you'll love this. Pressure has been the Super Bowl kryptonite for Tom Brady. In his 3 losses, he's been sacked 8 times, hit 18 times, and pressured 48 times. And one of those losses you know very well. Sean O'Hara.
Yeah, well, that's what we did on Super Bowl 42. And I remember Tom Coughlin to this day coming in Wednesday morning saying, if we're going to win this game, you're going to get pressure on Tom Brady. Knock him down, hit him. There's my man Justin Tuck, Osi. Strahan did it. but a lot of the pressure was inside. I mean, there you see some perimeter pressure, but Jay Alford on the inside had the sack at the end. There he is right there. Justin Tuck, we moved him inside because we had Osi and Stray on the outside. That interior pressure, you could beat the guards. Now all of a sudden, Brady can't get away from that. He does a good job stepping up from the edge rush, but the interior pressure can't get away. Here's the challenge. Joe Tooney, the left guard, hasn't given up a sack all season. Shaq Mason hasn't given up a sack since week 1. So those 2 guards have done a really good job inside.
And for the Rams secondary, how do they feed off what Donald and Sue are going to do up front?
Yeah, well, for the Rams, listen, Wade Phillips has been a cover 1 guy. All right, He wants to go. He's going to leave a deep safety. He's going to go man coverage, but they're going to try to take somebody away. And against the Saints, against you guys, he tried to take away Michael Thomas. Let's see how that unfolded during the game. Here you see Marcus Peters with outside leverage on Michael Thomas. All right, why? Because he thought he had inside help. The linebacker right here is supposed to help out with the inside. He's got a brain lapse right here and just lets him run right behind him. I think when you look at what they did, their adjustment right here was, okay, let's only rush 3 now. All right, we're still, with Aqib Talib here, we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to double Michael Thomas. And actually, they triple team right here. Outside leverage, you bring the safety involved right here. You use that 4th rusher. Now he takes away the underneath throw. You force the Saints to try to beat you somewhere else. That's what I think the Rams are going to do, and I think they're going to do this to Edelman. I think they're going to try to take Edelman away from the middle, take him out of the middle of the field. Here you see they try to go in motion with Michael Thomas to free him up. All right, Peters knows he's got help inside, so look at the outside leverage he's playing. He knows he's got help in the middle. All right, now Drew Brees knows, all right, they're taking him away. I've got to go somewhere else. I think Gronk makes this catch. All right, he's a little bit taller, and he's got big hands. I think he comes down with that. That's what I think they're going to force the Patriots to do. They're going to try to take away Edelman, try to bracket him, take away the middle of the field stuff, and now make you go elsewhere outside the numbers.
Well, I tell you what, taking away those guys, easier said than done. Rattling Brady, easier said than done.
Brady takes the step, late pressure, a throw down the middle for Gronk, open, lunges, makes the catch, absorbs the contact, and falls in the end zone for a touchdown, Patriots!
Brady goes down the field to Gronk, turns around, makes the catch. You get the separation, and how do you cover a guy like this?
He throws it left for Gronk, he makes the catch over 2 defenders for a touchdown!
And welcome back to Radio Row, live here with you. Special Super Bowl 53 edition of NFL Playbook. Rhett Lewis, Brian Billick, glad to have Cam Jordan here with us. Sean O'Hara. We just saw Rob Gronkowski there. Sean, least impactful season since his rookie year, but he did come through clutch in the AFC Championship game. Does he still have the ability to dictate coverage and have an impact on the outcome of this game?
Rhett, he's the 8th wonder of the world. And when you look at him, every single week we talk about, hey, how are they going to stop Gronk? And everybody has a game plan. And then he goes out there, and you can't stop him. And I think he's more athletic than people realize. We know he's a physical guy. We know, I like to call him Sasquatch. He loves getting his hand on people. But how about him right here in the slot, all right? One-on-one versus a defensive back. Now, everybody says, get your hands on him, jam him. But Gronk's smarter than you think, all right? He knows you're going to try to jam him. Look at him, the athletic move right here to slip this jam by the defensive back. And Brady knows, all right, if I've got a deep middle safety and I've got Gronk one-on-one, you know I'm going to Sasquatch. And, I mean, this throw right here, look at him running away from the defensive back right here. So maybe he's a little bit faster than people think. Maybe it's faster than they give him credit for. All right, how about the smarts right here for Gronk? He just beat Eric Berry earlier on this drive on a go route to the outside, so he knows he's getting outside leverage. He runs a slant right here. All right, maybe it's not Jerry Rice, but still, I mean, he's athletic. Look at him catching the ball away from the body right here. Understands that the safety was moving away from right there, so Gronk's tough to defend. All right, so now you want to run a diamond front or a bear front, if you call it. You put the defensive back up there to jam at the line. The Patriots have great scheme. They always seem to know how you're going to line up against the formation. And then look at this guy right here, all right? You know what happens when you wear a T-shirt to the club, Cam? You get thrown out right there.
Hey, he just wasn't big enough to be in the club.
You can't wear a tank top to the club. Gronk will throw you out. I think he's a nightmare to match up one-on-one.
Yeah.
I don't know how you double team him, but he's also, I think he's more physical than people realize, and I think he's quicker than they realize.
Well, one of those catches he had in the AFC Championship game was down in the red zone, where Gronk has more touchdown catches in the playoffs than any other player. Let's take it a step further, Coach.
Yeah.
Only Jerry Rice has more receiving touchdowns in the playoffs than Gronk. Only Jerry Rice has more receptions in the playoffs than Julian Edelman. How does that duo get into the game plan here for the Patriots on Sunday?
Well, and it's exactly that, right. It's the combination. We talk about how quickly Tom Brady gets the ball out of his hands because he's reading the coverage. But let's look at the basic route. This is as simple as a screwdriver, but they keep doing the same things over and over again. You're going to see sometime on the same side of the field, sometimes opposite. Here you're going to see Gronk runs this basic cross or basically this little slant in the middle of the field. Edelman pulls up. So Brady knows right now they're going to drop off. They get underneath Gronk. I'm going to get the ball out of my hands right now. Now, I'm going to flip it up. Now, I'm going to come into motion. I'm going to let Gronk sit down underneath, and I'm going to bring Edelman from the other side, and I'm going to bring him on that basic cross with the inside route. So now you can see Gronkowski. Look at the way the middle linebacker shades towards Gronkowski, and now they hit Edelman on the outside. So, you know, a lot's been talked about how Gronkowski and where he is. I go back to the Toby Keith song, right? I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
That's right.
Well, I think Gronk's as good once as he ever was in combination with Edelman. That's going to be the challenge for the Ram defense to figure out, like whack-a-mole, which one of these guys is going to get the ball.
Hey, I mean, when you talk about what Gronk brings, he's eliminated a lot of that 50-50 ball stuff. If you send it to Gronk, you know he's got a big physical, a guy who can catch and make a lot of great plays. You talked about Edelman and his agility and what he brings to the table. It's tough to try and match up against.
Yeah, no question about it. And we will see that matchup and those matchups versus Rob Gronkowski on Sunday.
Brady under center, the give to Burkett, runs it left for the win! Touchdown, Patriots! And they're bound for Super Bowl 53!
What a call, Sosi. We're going back, baby. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. America's worst nightmare is back. We're going to our 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. Pack your bags, start our buses. We're coming home, Boston. It's not their year, right? It just might be. It just might be.
And the Patriots are here in Atlanta, in part due to James White's terrific performance against the Chargers, tied a playoff record with 15 receptions in that divisional round win. C.J. Anderson helping to bring the Rams here with his 100-yard game versus the Cowboys. And then Kyle Van Noy, 2 sacks on Patrick Mahomes, was one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL this year in the AFC Championship game. Maybe some X factors right there. Coach, any of those guys, your X factor in Super Bowl 53?
No, he's going to surprise you. I'm going to go with Johnny Hecker. More importantly, John Fossil, the special teams coordinator for the Rams. I know it's hard for you to see this, Cam. This changed the complexion of the game. The matchup on the outside, Hecker able to complete this quick little stop route. This totally changed the complexion and the trajectory of the game. But we've seen this before. They've come up with things on special teams. John Fossil's going to be a head coach in this league very, very soon. This is kind of creative. Little Canadian, you know, they get going downhill. They're flowing to one side. They flow. They get the up back, sneaking out and getting just in here and getting there just enough for the first down. So I think special teams could be that difference maker and X factor.
Look at that passer rating for Johnny Hecker. 103.
Passer ratings on
He's
a punter.
almost 104 for a punter. Sean, is Greg Zuerlein going to be your X factor? Are we going all special teams here?
No, look, punters are people too.
Okay.
But,
No, they're
but
not.
I'll get to that. But Cordero Patterson is my X factor.
Great one.
And when you look at what he brings, he's kind of their utility guy. He's been all season, but he's also their deep threat. He's got speed. I mean, he can flat out fly. Watch him right here, just run right by this corner. All right, this is single high coverage right here in the middle of the field. Brady fits this throw in just based on pure speed, but he also does have a special teams factor to it. All right, they have the second best kickoff return team in the NFL this year. Look at this play against Chicago. All right, you make one guy miss, you get him in the open field, he's gone. So you look at what Cordero Patterson brings to this team. He can line up as running back. You can see him in the backfield.
He'll take a
receiver. He's got an impact in special teams. He averaged 28.8 yards per return this year. That could be a big difference maker in flipping the field and field position.
Yeah, had a 27-yard run as well. He's kind of been the Swiss Army knife, as you mentioned there, Sean. Okay, Cam, are you going with one of your pass rushing brethren here as an X factor?
You know I have to, and I'm going to talk about a guy who's a lot like my guy, Sheldon Rankins. You know, he's just not talked about enough. I'm going to go with Trey Flowers.
Good one.
Really? Okay.
You know, I'm going to stick with, he had 7.5 sacks during the regular season, but he's had 2 in the playoffs. I mean, he's really taken off, and he's shown that he's got that prowess to come off the edge and do what needs to be done.
Look at that hand chop.
Oh, that's big time.
Fighting through a little hole there.
I mean, look, that's what offensive linemen do. They hold, as you well know.
We clutch.
They call it
clutch.
you call it technique. I call it you owe me a dinner.
Just don't give up your chest.
And Coach Belichick actually complimented Trey Flowers in a press conference today. So, Flowers, a big part of what the
Look at those arms.
Patriots do.
I mean, he can
on
tie his shoes
defense.
standing up.
No doubt.
Since week 12, one of the highest pressure rates in the NFL there, second only to Khalil Mack and Olivier Vernon, according to Next Gen Stats. Let's make our picks. Sean, you get the honors up. You're up first.
All right, well, listen, the Rams are fun to watch, but I'm not going to pick against the Patriots. I think the New England Patriots end up winning this game. You look back to last year, Tom Brady threw for over 500 yards and 3 touchdowns in a loss, and it was because he got sacked and it was the fumble at the end. I think the Patriots get the ball at the end, and I think they win this game 31-28. Thanks to a game-winning field goal, just like the last time they beat the Rams. In the Super
about
Bowl.
it, Coach?
Yeah. I'm an LA boy. I go back to Roman Gabriel and Lamar Lundy and
The
Jack
match
Snow.
game.
And, the Rams have got everything going. I'm tired
Flipper
of picking
Anderson,
against the
come on.
Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots.
Oh. What? After all that?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the winners.
All right, Cam. Come on, tell us who the winner is.
You talk about the Cal connection. You've got Jared Goff. You've got C.J. Anderson.
Cal.
You then turn around the Bayer connection. You've got Marcus Peters. Got nothing but respect for Sean McVay. But you can't go against Tom Tastic and the crew that Bill Belichick has put together. So I'm going to say Atlanta freezes over come Sunday, and they both lose. They can't even get to the stadium.
Great setup.
So we're going to go Super Bowl 51, 52, 54.
I love it. All right. Well, we hope to see you in Super Bowl 54.
That's right.
Thanks so much for being here
No
with us
doubt.
on Playbook. For Sean O'Hara, Cam Jordan, and Brian Billick, I'm Rhett Lewis. We'll see you next season.